Here's the deal then. Just now, Meghan Markle was barred. Not gently iced out, not unfollowed. We're talking about a complete banishment from the fashion industry. It's not subtle either. Balenciaga, indeed. That in essence, Balenciaga has locked the door behind her, thrown the key into the Seine, and slammed it shut. Now let me explain it to you before you call it dramatic. Imagine this. Fashion Week in Paris. Everywhere there are cameras, lights, and high fashion royalty. Additionally, Meghan Strutzen's outfit not only mimicked, but also resembled the most recent Balenciaga collection. The same attitude, tone, and cut. It wasn't theirs, though. And the issue is that, because copying is battle, not flattery, in high fashion, particularly when working with a company like Balenciaga, which lives on uniqueness, exclusivity, and shock value. They create stories in addition to clothing. And Meghan violated a silent rule when she plagiarized the story without authorization. The industry takes this very seriously. That one action started a chain reaction that no PR team can reverse. Fast-talking sources from the Paris fashion scene began to speak. In addition to the dress, regarding an increasing discomfort with Meghan, they claim that she is erratic, that she's making too much effort to fit in with a select group of people she left behind. The fact that she is not just influenced by fashion is much more concerning. Now she's doing it again. As you can see, private fittings aren't simply for clothing in the inner sanctuaries of luxury fashion. They resemble creative repositories. Celebrities do more than try on clothes. They view sketches, mood boards, and unreleased designs. Let's have faith in access, and you're done as soon as that trust is violated. Meghan's now there. Her name is being quietly yet efficiently cleaned up, off the guest list. No one is answering the phone. Whispers are becoming industry policy, and former stylists are retreating. They no longer see Meghan as a possible muse, so don't invite her. She poses a risk to marketing. According to one stylist, she requested exclusivity before earning it. She wants the benefits without actually playing the game, which is code for that. And the game is crucial in the fashion industry. Let's not pretend that this happened suddenly. There has always been some turbulence in Meghan's fashion representation. Whenever she attempts to have a moment of high fashion, it backfires in some way. It either creates drama or feels contrived. Additionally, the Balenciaga event spilled everything on the table rather than merely stirring things up. According to insiders, she might have even made an effort to establish relationships through sympathetic public relations, third-party stylists, and back channels. However, those back doors were sealed off as soon as the brand saw how much her attire resembled their work. Then the unwritten blacklist appeared. Yes, there is one in fashion. It's not public, sorry. However, the glam teams vanish and the invitations cease when it is present. You quickly move from the front row to nowhere. Meghan is on her way there. This wasn't even a red carpet moment, which is crazy. It was not intended to be contentious. It ought to have been just another fashionable look. Instead, it revealed how precarious her place in the fashion industry is. One viral comparison, one imitated outfit. Balenciaga only needed that to declare, "You're out." The worst aspect is that there is more than one brand at stake. Since luxury fashion is more than simply clothing sales, rival companies like Dior, Givenchy, and Louis Vuitton notice and keep an eye on who is left out when a behemoth like Balenciaga takes a move like this. Control is sold, and they don't provide that to an unpredictable person. Meghan, however, desired to reacquaint herself with high fashion. Rather, she stepped into a trap that she had constructed for herself. And there is still fallout. There are no warning emails sent by the fashion industry. It communicates by sending signals. Additionally, Meghan Markle is currently the target of every signal that is glowing red. PR companies are pulling away. Suddenly, stylists who used to refer to her as an ideal customer are not available. Event photographers are starting to notice as well. The manner that she is framed has changed. She's literally transitioning from focal point to cutout. The replicated style isn't the only thing driving this silent exile. It's the suspicion. You see, mutual protection is the lifeblood of the fashion industry. In the hopes that what is seen inside stays inside, designers welcome celebrities into their studios. However, there are rumors that Meghan is erasing those distinctions, that her team has been reversing ideas behind the scenes, using private previews as inspiration, having local designers copy the style, and then showing it off in public without giving credit. Whether that accusation is true, it is sufficient to shut someone out, because reputation isn't the only factor for premium homes. Intellectual property is at issue, and doors slam rather than simply close when someone threatens that, even if only by association. According to insiders, Meghan's self-assured wearing of the fake piece was the last straw. She acted as though she was welcome and thought Balenciaga would be flattered, but they weren't. It shouted entitlement to them. According to a Paris-based creative director, she behaves as though having access is a right rather than a privilege. And since access is crucial in the fashion industry, that really got to me. It is something you have to earn. Then the conjecture began. Was everything here a component of a scheme? Is Meghan use fashion as a means to establish her own brand, rather than as an art form? There's talk then, rumor has it, that she has been considering starting her own fashion line, perhaps utilizing the trends she has seen in these opulent spaces. If so, her sudden fascination with haute fashion was not a sign of admiration. It was reconnaissance. New York, Paris, and Milan have all heard that theory, and it has completely altered the tone. He will design. Insiders feel used, not simply insulted. It was best expressed by one editor. She isn't forming a bond with fashion. She is using it to harvest. This is the reason it isn't being ignored. Designers are backing off because of this. Stylists are remaining silent while brands are sending out invitations. Then there is the influence of Balenciaga. Remember that this is a company that is still getting over its own PR mishaps. Well, another controversy is the last thing they need, connected to their name, particularly one that involves claims of design theft. They have been putting forth extra effort to maintain their authority and individuality. Thus because Meghan's dress resembled theirs, it went viral online and was deemed dangerous rather than just obnoxious. Why was it worse? She didn't simply appear wearing the posture as though it were her own. She was seen laughing, being carefree, and even grinning in pictures taken during a model trip on the runway. She appeared unaware of the seriousness of the fashion industry's etiquette in that moment, which was captured on camera. It was similar to witnessing someone interrupt a dinner gathering and then disparage the host. From that point on, the rumors became plans. The stylist began turning down calls from her team. Her name started to be flagged on pre-show access lists by brands. A few public relations companies have added provisions that specifically restrict non-collaborative talents' access to unreleased concepts. We'll keep Meghan out. That's the courteous way to put it. Furthermore, it goes beyond the occurrences. The long term is important. The world of luxury doesn't forget. Your reputation is damaged whenever you are perceived as a liability, not because they support the claims, but rather because they don't want to be associated with you. Other celebrities begin to avoid you. Fallout like that spreads quickly. Meghan's image, her greatest weapon, is beginning to backfire. Fashion lives on exclusivity, mystique, and illusion. However, Meghan has become obtrusive, noisy, and predictable. Every action she performs is scrutinized, every costume examined, and every motivation challenged. And that kind of loudness is career-killing in a place that reveres the sacred and the subtle. Not only is she no longer on the guest list, people now double-check who is on the guest list because of her. The damage was already done behind the velvet curtains of the elite circles of fashion. It was difficult to recover from the invisible line that Meghan Markle had crossed. The silent rejection from Balenciaga was more than simply a personal setback. It was a change of tone for the public. There was no statement from the brand. They were not obliged to. Silence is more incisive in the fashion industry than any press release. Meghan's name just stopped showing up on emails, coordinating pre-show planning, fitting appointments, and seating charts. A ghost in a place that used to embrace her light. Additionally, when her team attempted to manage the narrative, Terms like independent, forward-thinking, and future-inspired blurring began to circulate in her publicity, which further exacerbated the gap. The insiders didn't believe it. They weren't examining her attire. They were examining her motivation for wearing it. Was it a tribute? Was it a plan? Or was it a deliberate action to entice design businesses to respond, allowing her to position herself as a force in anti-establishment fashion? It didn't work out if that was the plan. Fashion brands such as Dior and Givenchy started to tighten their own access lists in a spectacular way. When questioned about possible Meghan cooperation, PR managers began to say no. The vibes were really evident. Nobody wants to be the next company to get involved in a dispute over originality. A Milanese designer put it succinctly. She didn't wear the incorrect dress. She donned the appropriate clothing without authorization. As much as some of Meghan's columns that earlier hailed her stylistic evolution were retracted by longtime fans in the fashion media who were now cautious when using terms like trendsetter or icon. Because trust is the glue that keeps the whole fashion industry together. The illusion breaks along with that thread. Additionally, there's more going on here than just clothes. At one point, Meghan's ascension was about upending the status quo and rewriting the rules. Rewriting the norms does not, however, imply disregarding them in the fashion industry. It means you know them